What's up, guys? Today is April 27th of 2020. This week in the NFL Draft, the most surprising move was made by the Green Bay Packers when they used their first-round draft pick to select a quarterback named Jordan Love. This move was a surprise because the Green Bay Packers currently have Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the game. Not only do they have him on the team for another 4 more years under contract, but he's also stated publicly that he wants to finish his career in Green Bay. So using a first-round pick on another quarterback when the team has many other demands has a lot of Packer fans scratching their heads. So in the search for answers, people seem to be coming up empty. And that's because they don't have a true understanding of what's going on in these sports leagues. The National Football League, along with the NBA, the MLB, all part of the larger bread and circus show to distract the public. And stories like this are clear public mockery. And all of this is done by a code. Before we get into the numerology of this selection, just think about the name Jordan Love in light of the fact that a TV series, which I also have a video on, if you go back 2 videos on my channel. This series was a documentary of the 1997 to 98 Chicago Bulls team, the last year that Michael Jordan played in Chicago. So while this series is airing on television on ESPN, and the world is once again falling in love with the play of Michael Jordan, and here we have an interesting story about a player named Jordan Love. Well, Jordan Love was born in the year 1998. That's, of course, the same year The Last Dance ends in with the Bulls' 6th NBA championship of the decade. So first let's start with the Ordinal Gematria of Jordan Love. Using the alphabetic order, Jordan Love has a numeric value of 116. This cipher assigns a number to each letter in the alphabet, 1 through 26, relative to its position. If we use the reverse alphabetic order, where Z gets 1 and Y is 26, notice how Packers sums to 116. For the Packers, Jordan Love will be backing up Aaron Rodgers. And notice how Aaron Rodgers also has this number 116 in his name. Actually, in his birth numerology, 12 plus 2 plus 19 plus 83. As another layer, when you add Jordan Love to Aaron Rodgers, it sums to 116 with the S exception. Strange, you also get 251 in ordinal. That's the 54th prime number. The name Love equals 54 in both the standard and reverse alphabetic orders. Notice how both Aaron and Jordan were both born on the 2nd day of the month. If you measure between these two men's birthdays, you get exactly 179 months. 179 is another prime number. 179, the 41st prime. This is the reduction value of Green Bay, where Jordan Love will be playing, and he'll be backing up Rodgers, which also sums to 41. Just for kicks, this is also 14 years, 11 months. If you multiply 14 times 11, you get a product of 154. That's the gematria of Jordan Love in reverse. Well, what about the standard reduction method? This cipher uses the rules of numerology to reduce each double-digit number to a single digit. Jordan Love sums to 44. This is the same as the team he'll be playing for. Packers equals 44. They play their home games at Lambeau Field. Lambeau gets a 44, as well as Wisconsin, 44 in Gematria. Just this weekend, our governor, Tony Evers, which also sums to 44, he's our 46th governor here in Wisconsin. 44 days after the pandemic was declared, his stay-at-home order was supposed to expire. It was also the same day that Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, the only other state to have 44 Gematria, opened his state. But this isn't a video about that. Let's get back to the numbers behind Jordan Love. Before we get into the Freemasonry riddle, of course, the emblem of Freemasonry having the capital G in its emblem just like the Packers logo on their helmet, I want to talk about this pi riddle that's definitely clearly coded into this. And this has to do with, of course, pi and the mathematics of the circle. Now, we talked about the number 44 with Jordan Love, Packers, Lambeau, Wisconsin. In Hebrew Gematria, the word circle has an ordinal value of 44. Now, when we're talking about the circle in Gematria, we're talking about the 15th letter, or the O, in English. Notice how 15th sums to 150, kind of like how the 15th letter is a circle. Well, using the alphabetic order, Green Bay Packers sums to 150. Now again, the mathematics of the circle are resolved with pi, or 3.14. Pi Day is 3/14, or March 14th, which is the 73rd day of the year. Packers equals 73 in ordinal. Next, we're going to use Jewish Gematria. This is also called a Latin. It's based in the Latin order. More modern English characters placed at the end. And this is the most significant cipher outside of English. And notice how mathematics of the circle sums to 666 in this cipher. Now, if you were to multiply 6 times 6 times 6, you get 216, which is the ordinal value of this very same phrase. Now, this number is coded into Jordan Love's birth year. If you were to take 666 and multiply it by 3, you get 1998, which again was the year Jordan Love was born. Also the last year that Michael Jordan played for the Chicago Bulls. Now, when we write out 666, we get this value of 2038. The last video on my channel about the global revelation agenda completely centered around this code, 666, and this number. Now, isn't it interesting that when you write out Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, it sums to 2038. Aaron Rodgers' birthday is December 2nd, written 12/2, with the S exception, 666 equals 122. Now, as far as why it would be done on this date, first of all, consider the date April 23rd as it's written internationally, 23/4. This number is connected to 666. If you add 234 to 432, its inverse, you get a sum of 666. Mark of the beast, 234 in reverse. Now, the number 666 is very special in numerology for many reasons, but the most obvious ones are that not only is 666 3 sixes, but if you add every number, 1 through 36, it sums to 666. This is called the 36th triangular number. So very clear to see how the number 36 can essentially be shorthand for 666. Well, Aaron Rodgers is currently 36 years old. On the date of the draft, he was a span of 144 days after his birthday. Why is that significant? Well, if you add the first 144 digits of pi after the decimal, you get a sum of 666. There's more to this riddle as well, and it's tied into the birthday of Jordan Love. So here we are talking about, I didn't even mention Mark of the Beast also with that 144 in Ordinal. Anyway, we were talking about the mathematics of the circle, right? And how this phrase has very intriguing gematria. Well, the words mathematics, first of all, this sums to 112 in Ordinal. And this is funny because this is the simplest math equation, right? 1 plus 1 is 2. The word circle also sums to 112. Now, Jordan Love was born on November 2nd, the date written 11/2. And if you measure from his birthday to the date he was drafted, he was 1,120 weeks old, a number which represents 112. So next we get to the Freemasonry part of the riddle, as we always do with these silly numeric events with the Green Bay Packers. Again, the Packers G, put conveniently here inside the Freemasonry emblem, which is also made of a capital G. If we write out Green Bay, we get 139 in reverse. This is the value of Freemasonry using the alphabetic order. Of course, G is the 7th letter of the alphabet. Green Bay equals 77. What I also just realized now is how Green Bay equals 540. I brought this 54 number up earlier. The name Love equals 54. Now, on my channel, there's 2 capital letter ciphers that I teach. And I always forget the shortcut. All right. So we look at this capital G. And in our capital letter ciphers, the capital G has gematria of 33 and 13. Now, these happen to be very significant numbers to Freemasonry. For starters, the highest degree of Masonry believed to be the 33rd. And the 13, a very significant one as well, a number connected to the moon. So here we have this 3313. And if you combine these digits, you get the number 3,313. Now, this is a prime number. That would be the 466th prime number. And when you combine these men's full names, Aaron Charles Rodgers and Jordan Love, notice how you get 466 in the reverse alphabetic order, a number which again connected to 3313, like the G on the helmet. Now, modern Freemasonry was founded in the year 1717, meaning that here in 2020, Freemasonry will turn 303 years old. Notice how Masonry also sums to 33 in reduction. Now, if you follow this trend, check out how 33 equals 66, which is 33 times 2. And this is very significant numerically. Notice how the 33rd prime number is 137. The 66th prime number is 317. So you multiply 33 times 2, their prime relations have the same digits. Aaron Charles Rodgers and Jordan Love equals 317 and 137. Pretty interesting. What about the 169? Well, the square root of 169 is 13. just like that capital G. And finally, when does Freemasonry turn 303 years old? Well, that would be June 24th. And according to the Wikipedia page here, June 24th, the formation in 1717 of the premier Grand Lodge of England. Now, if you measure from their 303rd anniversary to the date that Jordan Love was drafted by the Packers, you get 62 days. And this is the ordinal value of Jordan and Mason. All right, guys, that'll do it for the breakdown of the numerology of this bizarre draft pick. Thanks to all who tuned in. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, as this work is censored and doesn't really get out any other way anymore. All right, guys, peace, love, God bless, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.